Good evening, everyone. Let me call to order the special town council meeting for this Tuesday, May the 14th. My, what a room full of champions. It is so great to see everybody here today, just making us very proud. Item number 2 on our agenda is public comment. If you are here to make a public comment, please come forward. Did we have a sign up for this? Or no, not for the special?
Not for this,
Okay.
not been notified if anyone wishes.
Okay. Is there anyone who wishes to make a public comment? If not, we will close public comment and get on with the awards and the reasons we're here. And the first is the STEP Challenge Award presentation.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. With us is Irv Batten, who is the race director for the Cooper River Bridge Run, and he is here to present the STEP Challenge Award to the victors. Irv, would you come forward?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the town council, Mayor Haney, the entire staff, Chief Arnold, the entire police department of the town of Mount Pleasant. The Cooper River Bridge Run is the 3rd largest 10K in the United States, and we would not be able to be such a success without the support of the town of Mount Pleasant. And this is our 47th year of the Bridge Run, so hopefully there's at least 47 more. Mm-hmm. So now to the presentation. I was asked by several board members from the Bridge Run to sponsor a step challenge between the city of Charleston, the city of North Charleston, and the town of Mount Pleasant employees. And I went to the kickoff event, and I want to commend Mayor Haney because I was brought up to let your legs do the talking. And there were other people in that room that were boasting about how their city had the best employees, how they were going to win the step challenge. Mayor Haney just smiled and let them do that talking. And then when it came down to it, the town of Mount Pleasant employees did the talking with their legs. And I want to present and at least acknowledge the top 3 step participants in the whole step challenge. All 3 are from the town of Mount Pleasant. And I believe they're all here. Tim Hawk, he had over 355,000 steps. There is Charlotte Lowe, had over 374,000 steps. And I don't know how they're walking, but Jeffrey Jenks had over 421,000 steps. So on behalf of the Cooper River Bridge Run, I'd like to present this trophy to the town of Mount Pleasant. It's the annual trophy. You have set the bar. So now let's see if anybody can match it going forward. So congratulations.
Great, thank you.
You want to go get it? Go do it. Go get it.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Ready? 3, 2, one more.
Thank you. All right. Yeah. We got to have some silver to keep up with all these champion young people in this room. So I'm glad we got something. We'll just sit that right there. And Irv, we want to thank you for running one of the most popular and best run 10K events in the country. And we're proud that it starts right here in Mount Pleasant. So we love y'all as much as you love us. Item number 4, recognition of South Carolina High School League 7-4A Boys Soccer Coach of the Year. Please come forward. Yeah, that way.
That way?
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Let me turn this around this way. Yeah, come over here. Hello, I'm Councilman Icafano. I am here to introduce Coach Trip Cutno, who's a personal friend of mine. I don't know. I'll admit that in public. I don't know if he would admit the same back to me, but that's okay. Coach is, I've known Trip for a very long time, and he's an inspiration to a lot of children. He sacrifices a lot of his time for the community. He does serve on the Rec Advisory Commission as well. He's the vice chairman of it, and he was asked to go to and earn the spot as the head coach for the Lucy Beckham boys varsity team, and was able to take that team to a level that they've never achieved before. Took them to the lower state championship game this year, and it was against not one of my favorite schools to go to is James Island. So, but you know, he really brought the team up to another level, and due to that, he was named he's a very popular guy. You've got other friends. He has other friends besides me. But he was named the Region 7 4A Boys Soccer Coach of the Year by the SCHSL organization. Again, this was his first season. He did an unbelievable job. Hopefully he's going to be sitting there next year with his boys soccer team, and I know he will. I know we've got Beckham represented tonight, along with many other schools. So, you know, I really want to just thank Trip for his countless hours that he gives to the community and that he gives to the youth of our town, and I want to congratulate him on his feat of Coach of the Year. And we hope to see you back next year. Thank you. That's proof. And he'll be selling these shoes next year, these Lucy Beckham brand shoes.
Got to have the drip.
Thank you.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Our next agenda item is recognition of state champions, Lucy Beckham High School girls tennis. Lucy Beckham High School, cheer. And we'll do these sequentially, and then Lucy Beckham High School lacrosse and Wando High School lacrosse. That is a lot of champions for the town of Mount Pleasant.
We have a room full of champions. Okay. We have tennis first, right? Okay. We'll make sure we're going the right order here. Okay. This is our Lucy Beckham Bengals girls tennis team. They captured the South Carolina High School League 4A state championship in girls tennis in a convincing fashion on November 4th, sweeping Greenville in the final 6-0. This is the Bengals' third state championship in 4 years in the sport. The Bengals' victory in the state finals completed a perfect 21-0 record on the season. Going into the season after losing 3 starting seniors, the team didn't know what to expect, but they were blown away with the talented girls that showed up in August after dedicating their off-season and summers to tennis. Coach Mahaffey says that not only were the girls highly impressive on the court, they were even more impressive off the court. This team is filled with smart, kind, and thoughtful young ladies, and these girls have become a family to each other. They've taken leadership in the school. Congratulations to our 3-time state champions, the Lucy Beckham Bengals girls tennis team.
Everybody in front. They don't want this.
Oh, that's right.
She was taller than me, and I'm standing.
They won their first championship without even having a home
All right. Next, we have the Lucy Beckham High School cheerleaders. All right. I want to mention that Coach Courtney Fashco was a student of my sister's in cheerleading growing up. Janice Decker taught her some cheerleading in the All-Stars growing up, so it's great to see you here today. Our Lucy Beckham Bengals took home the South Carolina High School League for a state title in competitive cheerleading in November at Colonial Life Arena in Columbia. The Bengals had 288 points, beat out 15 other teams, and edged second place AC Flora by 8 points, locking up their first ever state championship in program history and the first competitive cheer SCHSL title for the Charleston County School District team. Beckham finished the year with a perfect 7-0 record in competitions in 2023. Congratulations to our state champions, the Lucy Beckham Bengals cheerleaders.
Wow.
Next, we have Rondo High School boys lacrosse.
This is Beckham again.
This is Lucy Beckham. Just want to make sure you remember. It's this one.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. I'm going to correct. We'll have Lucy Beckham up next. I'm sorry. They have my paper backwards. Okay. We have here the Lucy Beckham boys lacrosse head coach Parker Farragon. They completed a three-peat by knocking off Greenville 8-3 in the South Carolina High School League 4A Boys Lacrosse State Championship game on April 27th. They are the first program in their school's short history to win 3 team state titles in a row. 7 different players scored goals for the Bengals, including 2 from Nolan Elwood. Lucy Beckham, 15-5, finished the season with a perfect record against teams in South Carolina. It is the 3rd year in a row they have also accomplished that feat as well. Congratulations to 4A state champions Lucy Beckham High School boys lacrosse team.
It looks like they changed their mind with their first part. I'll get it, bro. No, it's not.
And last but certainly not least, we have the Wando High boys lacrosse. All right. They're led by head coach Lance Renus. Our Wando Warriors captured the South Carolina High School League 5A state title with a convincing 17-7 victory over Nation Ford in the finals on April 27th. The win was special since the Warriors fell to the Falcons in the last year's championship game. Wando, 17-3, scored 3 goals in the first 4 minutes of the contest and led 8-1 after the first quarter to take control. Connor Coretta led the team with 4 goals. Connor Bennett and Luke Moore scored 3 goals, and Harris Beck, Sean Carroll, and Bragg McConnell scored twice. This is the Warriors' second state crown in boys lacrosse in 3 years, and the 8th championship overall for the program. Wando has now played in 12 straight state title games. Congratulations to the 5A state champions Wando High School boys lacrosse team.
They're the only ones with ties on.
I was going to say something about
When I was playing football, we had to wear coat and tie. No, to away games. When we got on the bus. I'm serious.
We just wanted to say that we didn't put this to an official vote, but y'all got a lot of style points for your ties, and those are very nice. So that was fantastic. Well, that concludes our recognition of state champions and our Coach of the Year for the region, and we just want to tell y'all how proud you make us as a town. I don't know another town that has that many bragging rights, but y'all are doing a great job, and Mount Pleasant is very proud of you. Item 6 is executive session. We would go into executive session for legal and contractual for an update on pending litigation with CKC Properties, to discussion of corporate counsel contract, and for personnel consideration of applications to serve on the Historical Commission. Do I have a motion stating such?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Before we vote, after executive session, council may take action on any item, including any subsection of any section listed on an executive session agenda or discussed in an executive session during a properly noticed meeting, which this is. Is there any discussion? All in favor of going into executive session for the 3 reasons listed, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, we will go upstairs into executive session. Everyone may be dismissed, and thank you all for being here tonight. everyone that we are still, we're coming out of executive session from our 5 o'clock meeting, so we have to wrap that up. We will adjourn that meeting, and then we'll start the meeting that I think you're all here for. So we have reconvened from executive session. No votes were cast, no action was taken. However, do we have some motions resulting from the information received?
Yes, sir. On the Historical Commission vacancies, I would like to move that we appoint Mr. Walter Brown III and Ms. Janan German for those seats 1 and 5 with the Historical Commission.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the two nominees, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Congratulations to our new members of the Historical Commission. Next, please.
I'd like to make a motion to approve a case resolution as presented in executive session for item A1, 6A1.
Second.
All right. We have a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. 7-2. Hyatt and Rambo are no. All right. Motion passes by a vote of 7-2. Motion carries. Next, please.
I'd like to make a motion to proceed as discussed in executive session and for item 6A2, discussion of corporation council contract.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. All right, that concludes section 6 and 7, and that brings us to item number 8, which is to adjourn. There being nothing further in this special meeting. The special meeting is hereby adjourned. We need to give the clerk a couple of minutes, and we need to get to 6 o'clock. We call to order the town council meeting for this Tuesday, May the 14th. Good to see everybody, and it's I love these daylight hour meetings. It just makes the whole thing seem different. We are going to start off with item 1 with a prayer by Chaplain Roy, and to be followed by a pledge led by Mayor Pro Tem Whitley. Please rise.
Would you all join me in prayer? Almighty and everlasting God, by thy Holy Spirit, preside in this council, so to direct, sanctify, and govern them, and they work by the mighty power of the Holy Spirit. Let us all say, Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Thank you very much. Item 3, approval of the agenda. May we get a motion first to approve?
Move for approval.
Second. And a second. In discussion, we have a motion to amend.
Yes, I'd like to move that we move item 7C under the consent agenda into item 10B, council old business.
All right, the motion is to move item 7C, which is in the consent agenda, to section 10B2, old business. And just to clarify, there is a technicality regarding some wording. It's not a real hotbed issue for this evening. We have a motion. We have a second. And a second. All right, any discussion on the amendment? All right, all in favor of moving the item as mentioned, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, the amendment is approved. Do we now have a vote on approval of the agenda as amended? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the agenda is amended and approved. Item 4, public hearings, awards, and presentations. We start off with a public hearing to receive comments on proposed amendment of our land development regulations for our low impact development. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Sir, Mr. Mayor, good to see you. We have a public hearing to receive comments on a proposal to amend Chapter 155.054 of the Land Development Regulation Guideline, Environmental Guidelines for Low Impact Development Program. Recommended are minor changes to help the program run more efficiently, including clarifying ordinance language, additional specifications and criteria, and additional LID techniques for developers to utilize.
If you are here to comment on the public hearing item, which is 4A, please come forward. By ordinance, you have 2.5 minutes, and name and address, please. Anyone here for comment on that item? No comment on the public hearing item. I am required to sound the gavel to close this public hearing. This moves us to item 4B, which is recognition of Teachers of the Year. Councilman Wildstein.
Good evening. As chairman of the town's education committee, it's my distinct honor and pleasure to carry out a special tradition created by Councilman Icofano. Tonight I get to introduce you to the 2024 CCSD Teachers of the Year. But before I do that, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to make a few brief comments. When I think back, some of the most impactful people in my life have been teachers. In fact, the only reason I'm standing before you today is because of the influence of my AP government teacher, Dr. Pete, who inspired his students to understand the context of our nation's political system and to desire to serve and give back to the public. Teachers pour their hearts, time, and often their bank accounts into guiding and inspiring our children to achieve great things. With 2 children in CCSD schools, I can personally attest to the fantastic educators, support staff, and principals we have here east of the Cooper. In fact, some of the educators who we're going to honor tonight drive more than an hour each way to get to the school to teach their children. Despite this vital role that teachers provide to our society, they're chronically underfunded, overworked, and I would argue in some circumstances underappreciated. Many cannot afford to live here in the town that they serve. I'm hopeful that we as a council can work to address the problem and to ensure that they and others who serve our town will always have a place to call home in Mount Pleasant. We may not be able to solve the issue entirely, but we can make it better, and I'm heartened that so many of my colleagues feel the same way. Our town does a great job of supporting education. Mayor Haney, in an example of leadership, stepped up to secure our schools by providing police officers for every building. Councilman Santos, years ago, created a program that teaches all kindergartners how to swim. The program exists to this day and has saved lives, and my own 2 children have gone through it as well. Our community is highly supportive of our teachers. Local PTAs raise more than $1 million a year to supplement the funding that CCSD is able to provide, and our schools are filled with parent and grandparent volunteers. I want to let the teachers know that we stand ready to assist you in any way that we can. We appreciate you, we're here to help you, and please don't be shy about reaching out to us. We can solve big issues and create great opportunities by working together. I'll step off of my soapbox now to focus on the task at hand, honoring our town's amazing educators, the true heroes of our community. I'd like to invite up council members Icafano and Whitley to help hand out a small token of our appreciation. It's not a BMW. I wish that I could hand that out, but I hope that it'll suffice. So without any further delay, here are our 2024 CCSD Teachers of the Year from East of Cooper Schools. And we'll start with Bell Hall Elementary, Alicia Rainsford. From Carolina Park Elementary, David Benezzi. From James B. Edwards Elementary, Katie Burkeen. From Jenny Moore Elementary, Natasha May. From Laurel Hill Primary School, Anna Ward. From MPA, Dorothy Dot Hook. From Sullivan's, Kim Deaton. And now we'll move on to some brave souls who teach middle school. From Lang Middle School, Allie Brown. From Carrier Middle School, Hannah Farrell. From Lucy Beckham High School, we've got Shannon Kerner Doty. Wando High School, Bev Salvo. And East Cooper Montessori, Sarah Ramsey. And I did want to note 4 teachers who were unable to attend. We have Susan Grayson from Charles Pinckney, Chantel Foreman from Whitesides, Jeanette Baker from Moultrie, and Sharon Ansley from East Cooper Center for Advanced Studies. So thank you very much, Teachers of the Year. We appreciate you, and please let us know if we can help. And we're going to come take a picture over here if you don't mind.
You guys.
Yeah. Having been married, still married to a career educator, at Jenny Moore. I know that this time of the year, those teachers are going home and going to bed. Their batteries are on low. So thank y'all very much, and thank you, Daniel, for a very nice presentation, and the whole committee. This brings us to item 4C, which is a longevity award, I believe. Chief Arnold has a very special one for this evening.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Tonight we have the pleasure of recognizing Deputy Chief Simmons for 25 years of service for the town of Mount Pleasant. So, Deputy Chief was born and raised in Mount Pleasant. He began his career at the Mount Pleasant Police Department as a community service officer in April of 1999. In 2002, he transitioned and became a sworn police officer. Just did an excellent job, and in 2004, he was transferred to the Criminal Investigations Bureau, where he served for 7 years as a detective, investigating some pretty significant cases during that time frame. In July of 2011, he was promoted to the rank of corporal and became an assistant patrol team supervisor. He was promoted to the rank of sergeant in October of 2013 and assumed the leadership role of a patrol team. In July of 2018, he was promoted to the rank of lieutenant, and as lieutenant, he was assigned to the Patrol Bureau, where he was Precinct 2 commander. Additionally, he served as a Harbor Patrol commander and the Mobile Field Force commander. During his tenure of Mobile Field Force commander, we had the riots down in Charleston, and he did an exemplary job during that. In July of 2020, he was promoted to the rank of captain over the Sports Services Bureau, where he oversaw the department's budget, training, records management, and grants, and accreditation. In 2021, he was promoted to his current rank of deputy chief. In this position, he oversees the day-to-day operations of the three bureaus: field operations, investigations, and support services. Couple of quick highlights. He has received numerous awards during his 25 years of service. He began with Community Service Officer of the Year, Rookie of the Year when he became a police officer, Officer of the Year, Detective of the Year, Supervisor of the Year, and Community Outreach Award. And I can tell you that you don't receive that many awards in the police department without doing an exceptional job. So it speaks very highly of his performance. One of the other things that we stress in the department is the importance of being a lifelong learner, and he is exemplary in doing this. He holds an associate's degree from Trident Tech, a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Limestone, a master's degree in criminal justice from Columbia College, a second master's degree in executive leadership from Liberty University, and he's completed the FBI Law Enforcement Executive Trilogy Program, and is an honor graduate of the 139th Executive Officers course at the University of Louisville, the Center Police Institute. Just truly an outstanding career. He's a pleasure to work with, and I can count on him for anything. I say, DC, I need this, and it gets done, and it gets done quickly. So I couldn't do this without you. You are a partner and a true friend, and I greatly appreciate everything. We look forward to several more years together.
Thank you very much, Officer Simmons. We know you and love you very much, and with those 2 master's degrees, maybe in the not too distant future, we'll be calling you doctor. I don't know. That would be nice. I believe that's our only longevity award for tonight. This moves us to item 5, approval of the minutes from April 9th. Have a motion to approve. Do we have a second? Second. All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. The minutes are approved. This moves us to item 6, which is public comment. And huddled with our attorney yesterday, and I do have one statement I want to say just to sort of set the expectations for tonight. If you are here regarding cruise ships, it is the advice of our counsel and others involved that the state law does not give the Patriots Point Development Authority nor the town of Mount Pleasant the authority to approve or disapprove cruise ships or cargo ships. Council is only voting tonight on a resolution acknowledging that we have seen that law and what we feel that law says. So if you are expecting an up or down vote on anything about cruise ships and are here to comment on that, I just wanted to be honest about what the expectation could be for what's actually on the agenda tonight. You're still free to comment on it all you want. So as your name is called, please come forward by ordinance, 2.5 minutes, and give your name, address, and place, what city it's in, please, if it's not Mount Pleasant.
Mr. Mayor, I have no signings on the signage.
No signings.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak who did not have the opportunity to sign? Well, this may be a first. No public comment. Does somebody want to go around and make one? Okay. That will close item 6 on public comment. This moves us to item 7, which is the consent agenda. Remember that this has been amended and item C has been moved to council old business. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Final readings of consent agenda items A, B, and D.
This moves us to item 8, which is planning new business. Item 1, Ms. Reed, please.
Trying to get there. So I'll start talking while I get there. This is an ordinance to rezone a 0.20 acre parcel of land on the corner of Simmons and Rose Lane. There we go. It's currently zoned AB, Area-Wide Business District. The request before you is to rezone it to R2, Single Family Residential. Quit working on me again. There we go. So you can see the aerial there. It's across from the middle school. Got it. There we go. It is currently zoned AB, Area-Wide Business District. Comp plan calls for neighborhood commercial. There's a close-up of it. So if you go down Rose Lane, right on the corner across the street is commercial. Behind it is commercial. You have the funeral home right there. This is a vacant commercial lot. You have commercial use here. The middle school, this is Brown Fox and Hermosa Jewelry here. So, but if you go all the way down Rose Lane, these are all residential.
So move to deny. Second.
We have a motion to deny, and a second and a third. Is there any discussion?
Yes, sir.
All right.
There was some discussion at the Planning Commission about this, and because we have residential all behind here, all down Simmons Street, and because they're not asking to have the property subdivided, they're asking for a single residential unit. I'm going to vote against any motion similar to what happened in the Planning Commission. I think it should be residential, and that's just my way of looking at this.
Okay. Mr. Rouse?
Yes, I tend to agree. I was at the Planning Commission meeting where it was originally discussed, and I think that there was some confusion from the residents. What I heard from them was the desire to preserve their neighborhood as residential. And so for that reason, I do think that a residential would be a less intense use for this particular piece of land. And I think it's more in context with the rest of the neighborhood.
Yes, sir. Mr. Rambo.
Ms. Reed, can you go back a couple of slides
Yeah.
to the comp plan, please?
Can you get it?
Yeah, so if you look at the, is that the zoning? Or
So
the comp
this is
plan?
the current zone.
Zoning, comp plan, they both show the same thing.
Do you want the comp
But,
plan?
Yes, please.
Next one. There we
So
go.
this is consistent with the comp plan.
Mm-hmm.
That entire area of Simmons Street, fronting Moultrie Middle School is business land. And I just feel like over time, we have approved too many business to residential properties, and we have an overwhelming percentage of residential properties in this town, and we continue to lose more and more of our business properties, and so that's the reason I'm not in favor of, in general, not in favor of rezoning any of our business properties to residential.
Any other discussion? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hyatt.
I agree with Mr. Rambo, and this was the discussion that we had at committee. They mentioned how much residential is around it, but really on either side, this property fronts Simmons Street, and either side is commercial. And I don't think we should be giving any of our commercial property away for residential use. So I'm happy to keep it zoned the way the comp plan calls.
As we see on here, the Planning Commission and the Planning Committee both recommended denial.
Correct.
Okay, yes.
Can you tell me what can go in neighborhood scale commercial?
I can. If we can go.
Okay.
Okay. So neighborhood commercial. I'm sorry, it's area-wide business. So the comp plan calls for neighborhood commercial. The current zoning is area-wide business, which allows pretty much anything you can see on this screen. Obviously, you're going to be limited by parking, the intensity of the use. You're going to have buffers and those sorts of things. So some of these things you wouldn't be able to accomplish given the size of the lot. I will say that the owner of this lot also owns, if I can go back a slide, there we go. So the owner of this lot also owns this lot. They are both commercial. This lot here, this building here is vacant. We've had some interest in them wanting to repurpose that building because you could not put that building back in the way that it is today. So I would anticipate that these two lots would probably be combined at some point if this remains commercial, so that you could have a larger, perhaps more intense use there. But there, AB pretty much allows anything: restaurants, medical offices, depending on the parking and all of that. And there was confusion at the Planning Commission. There was some public speakers, and there was a lot of comment about, we don't want townhouses, we don't want a big subdivision, and so it just kind of got away from the commission. But they did recommend that it stay what it is because of the comp plan, but there was also some confusion from the public and people in neighborhood. So I did want to clarify, and I clarified at committee, that you could not, the R2 zoning that they're requesting, this lot could not be subdivided further. So all you would be able to get is one single family lot on that property. So.
When we had one of these a few years ago, the old part of town, if it remains commercial and they build something new, they have to add a buffer, right? They have to buffer it from residential.
Yes,
and if it's residential, they're not required to do a buffer.
Correct. They'll have street buffers and things like that. But yeah, so they would have to do a buffer
right
along
there.
here.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, the motion is to deny. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No.
No.
Okay, by 7-2, the motion carries. Item A2.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion to approve. These are incentives for our, these are guidelines for protection of plan and environmental guidelines for land development. We have a motion to approve and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
First reading ordinance number 24021.
Item 8B is old business. There are no planning old business items. Item 9, committee action items. There are no committee action items. Item 10, council business, new business. This comes as a motion from the PLJ committee. It does not require a second. It's the adoption of a resolution recognizing that South Carolina Code, as written there, prohibits utilizing Patriots Point for ocean-going passenger embarkation and disembarkation. Everyone has a copy. If not, I have one here. Mr. Counselor, do I need to read this?
I think it does. No, sir, you don't need to read it. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay. We have a motion from committee. Yeah.
I believe one council member, Mr. Santos.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'll be abstaining on this due to a possible conflict of interest.
So just to be clear, abstention or recusal?
Recusal.
Recusal, so not participating in any discussion.
Right.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Do we need a motion?
No, the motion's on the floor from committee. It does not require a second.
It doesn't need a second, but a motion.
A motion.
Motion to approve.
I put it forward as a motion as the chair
My fault.
of the committee.
There is a motion.
My bad.
Okay. Which is to adopt the resolution. I think everyone has read it. Is there any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve the? Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My question is I'm reading this and I understand this is, I guess what this ends up being is a really glorified formal letter that we agree with the law in the state that already exists, right? We're not adding a law, we're not adding an ordinance, this is a resolution. My one thing that I fear a little bit is at the end it says which includes but is not limited to utilizing Patriots Point as an embarkation port, disembarkation port, port of call, or to otherwise load and unload passengers of cruise ships, which is something that we've added, I believe, to this. And that's in addition to, I guess what I want to state is that there's already a state law about this. We're interjecting ourselves, or what could be perceived as interjecting ourselves, on what would be an issue between a lessee and a lessor. And I do not want cruise ships in the town of Mount Pleasant. Okay, so I'm stating that very clearly. But I think we should be focusing on the zoning. The only way that we can stop or prevent cruise ships in the town of Mount Pleasant is through our zoning, not through what is already the state law. So I'm okay with the resolution. I'm a little scared of the end part. And I just want to clarify that by us adding that does not become an opinion and add us to any kind of legal issue.
I'll defer to our legal counsel.
Yeah.
I don't believe it would. What we're saying is we recognize and defer to state law, and this is complicated a little bit by the fact that Patriots Point is a self-governing board appointed by the governor and the legislature, and we by law have representation on that board. And I didn't just put this on here because I wanted to. The board over there asked me to put this on there because they really wanted to know where the town of Mount Pleasant stands on this. Do we see the state law the same way they do? And the fact that the executive director stood here at our committee day and said there is no unspoken for land over there. This discussion and this proposal and this constantly being approached that people at Patriots Point are about allowing cruise ships there. And the point of the tenders coming from the ships, which happened in April, without any, foreknowledge or without any agreement with Patriots Point as the landlord. They want to make sure that the town, and we do have zoning, they want to make sure that the town and Patriots Point are seeing this the same way and are together on this. And maybe I didn't do that, very well, but Mr. Paglerini, if you need to add to that, please do.
Sure, Mayor. I think there are a few issues addressed, and much of this was discussed at PJL. To clarify, this is not a legal action. We're not, as you said, Mr. Iacofano, we're not creating law. We're not enforcing law. This is a statement on the position as the law stands. Sorry, I believe there was some comment about the additional language, and by additional language, meaning it's not an exact quote from the state law.
Right.
And that is related to the discussion at PJL, which the concern was embarkation or debarkation, which I believe is the very point. And at PJL, Mayor, you asked my opinion, and the committee asked my opinion, and I believe this statute is all-encompassing, meaning it doesn't allow for narrow exceptions, perhaps for shuttling passengers back and forth. I believe it's all prevented by this state statute.
Yes.
So I just have a
Okay.
question on the addition of the language, so
Okay.
thank you for that clarification.
Sure.
And just real quick, do we know if were they bringing in more than just on that April 10th? Do we know if there was clarification that was happening a lot?
None at this time, sir. What I will say is that there may be review if it's perceived that there were any violations of the zoning, but first there have to be facts developed in order to determine that, and that is underway.
And our control of Patriots Point Development Authority is in our zoning, so we need to. You'll get a correct definition of our zoning.
Right, sir. Now, to clarify, we do not control Patriots Point Development
I mean, but
Authority.
the zoning is
But any private development there is controlled by zoning, and that is the mechanism by which we would review those circumstances.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. All in favor of the motion to approve the resolution, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes with one recusal. Thank you very much. This moves us to new business item 2, which is another resolution making a declaration of intent pursuant to the Treasury Department IRS, our favorite agency this time of year. Do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. We're in discussion. Any discussion? All in favor of the motion to approve, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carries. Number 3, this is our capital improvement plan for the fiscal years 2025 through 2029. Do we have a motion to approve and a second? Just so everyone knows, we have been through this through committees and the budget, but it's a thorough process. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 4, a resolution to adopt the town of Mount Pleasant 5-year general fund plan for 2025 through 29.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5 is adoption of a resolution supporting the adoption of the Charleston County Climate Action Plan by Charleston County Council.
Move to approve.
We have a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Items 6 and 7, I believe we could take together. These are resolutions regarding some law enforcement. One
Move
is,
to approve items
Second.
6 and 7.
all right, to approve 6 and 7 and a second. Any discussion? These are fairly routine. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And this moves us to B, old business, final reading. Ordinance to adopt the budget for the fiscal year 2025. We have a motion to approve and a second. Is there any? All right, that's the motion to approve. We have some amendments to make. All right, so who has those amendments? A couple of budget amendments.
I can start.
Take the first one.
Sure. From the budget committee, I asked that we increase the funding to the animal societies from $280,000 to $300,000, increase of $20,000 to support the work and support they do for town operations.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to increase our support of Charleston Animal Society from $280,000 to $300,000. Motion and a second. Any discussion on the amendment? All in favor of approval of the amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carries.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'd like to make an amendment to remove the Turkey Day Run and Gobble Wobble from the ATAX expenditures.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to remove Turkey Day Run support from ATAX expenditures, okay? And a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
Mayor, I have a motion.
Yes.
I'd like to move that we increase the community investment for ECHO to $20,000.
Second.
Was that 20,000?
20,000.
20,000. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the 3 amendments are approved. This brings us back to our primary motion to approve the budget, which we have just amended. Any further discussion? Yes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. Well, this is my first time through the budget process, and I appreciate the thoroughness of staff. Just want to clarify that when we approve this budget, everybody's tax rates stay the same. We're relatively holding the line on new personnel, and that we're ordering a whole bunch of equipment for our workers. And
Yes, sir. This budget is predicated on our existing millage, both operating and debt. Y'all will actually set that number in September, but it is built on no changes to that.
All right. Any further? All right. All in favor of approval of the budget as recently amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion carries.
Final reading, ordinance number 24016.
And that being final of old business, item number 11 is to adjourn. If there-
Mayor,
Save 7C.
we have
What's
the
that?
item
Oh, I'm
that's moved
sorry.
from the
Yes.
consent agenda.
Thank you.
And Mayor, I'll get that started while the slide is up. This is the
So we can't adjourn yet.
this is ordinance 24
Yes.
018 that had first reading. When the slide is there is a slide that shows the 3 points right there in front of you. There are 3 what we consider minor elements. 2 of them are correction of the to the correct department. Those are the second and third items. And the first is valuation of material and labor does not exceed $1,000. No permit is required unless an inspection is required. So those minor changes are brought forward by staff to clean up this. There would be, we'd need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And then a motion
Motion to
as
amend
presented.
as presented.
Second.
Okay.
And now a vote on the motion to amend.
All right. Any discussion on the motion to amend? All right. We're voting on the amendment. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Amendment carries. Now we're voting on the motion to approve. Any further discussion? All in favor of approval of the item, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Anything else I may have overlooked or forgotten? Now we're at item 11, which is to adjourn. There being nothing further before this council, we stand adjourned. 6:39.